Hello everyone, it's Kaifu here with game 1 in the series between Jono and Archie, with Jono on the left side playing Alhama'at, while on the right side we do have Archie is also playing Alhama'at. So this will be a Alhama'at against Alhama'at mirror match. So Alhama'at itself a very strong control ruler, able to generate those mana tokens or mana counters each time you tap for a magic stone, and if it's darkness or light, majority of the time it will be darkness. You can get a mana, and those mana can be used for free resource to play for your ancient magic cards such as Heartfelt, Ancient Knowledge, Ruined Soul, and many more of those ancient magic cards in the Lapis Cluster set. So there's no explanation of explaining what both deck does. Both deck is very strong in the mid to late game, but in the early game they do tend to set up with the big plays or small plays to get their field set up. Other than that, let's get back to the game itself. Currently the life point was 4,000 compared to 4,000. As I mentioned before, in the early game there won't be much action, there won't be much battle, just for the fact that it is a control versus control, and we've all seen control versus control in Force of Will. It will literally take a long time, and maybe 20 minutes later or even 10 minutes later, that's when the games start rolling. So we do have Jono playing the Abdul, able to shut down those enter abilities. I'm pretty sure Archie doesn't have any enter abilities in his main deck, so I don't think Abdul is there. It's just there for a body to attack with. But however, Archie did hit the E-Bond time and removing the attendant, Luna's attendant should I say. Luna's attendant is one of those new cards from the latest expansion set, Echoes of the New World. What it does is that it's a 5/5 body, 5/5 body 2 dropper, that is. You can pay 1 blue or a ancient magic mana stone, which is obviously from your Alhama'at. What is it, magic stone? I mean mana counter. You can pay it and you can give barrier to target J/resonator, so you can give it as a barrier so you can't actually kill it, and it's pretty annoying in the mirror because a lot of cards in the mirror is usually target like Time Space, Heartfelt, and a lot of stuff targets when it comes to using normal spells. So that card can be very annoying because it can be a good supporter to protect his own other cards such as Abdul and so on. In comes the Ruined Soul, grabbing the Ancient Knowledge, because again Archie did use the Nameless Mist to discard the Lunar Lake, which is quite interesting because if I recall correctly, both players have each other's deck list, and Archie should know for the fact that his own deck doesn't run any enter abilities, so I don't see the point of discarding the Lunar Lake. He might as well discard another Ruined Soul, so giving less option for Jono. So he must have a reason behind it, and I don't know what that reason is. So let's see, attacking directly with Abdul, doing some offensive play and playing a second Abdul, which is kinda unnecessary, but again, a 6/6 body on the field for defending or offensive purposes, so which is great and helpful. And Lunar Attendant is only a 5/5 body, so you can't really survive, but however, thanks to Nameless Mist, which give you a +1/+1 count as well, which is also helpful. Looks like attacking directly into the Abdul from book. So in comes the Bear Magic, but however, Luna's attendant said you know what? Nope. I'm gonna nullify that using my ability to give myself barrier, and yeah. And in comes the Time Space, making -5/-5 onto the Abdul, and that Abdul is one dead Abdul because living a 1/1 compared to 6/6 will not survive that. And drawing from the Time Space. So currently life point was 4,000 compared to 3,100 life point. The 900 damage has been dealt by the Magic Stone of Ebon and the Abdul attack. So let's see now, what can Jono do? Jono is not in the best situation because he didn't able to do his plays while his opponent able to discard cards, play Luna's Attendant to give himself barrier, so it's a very annoying card. Again, as I said before, if there's a card gives barrier, especially in the control matchup, it's going to cause a lot of problems because a lot of your key cards to allow you to maintain field advantage has target abilities such as Time Space, Heartfelt, and so on, which is very annoying. In comes the Time Space, -5/-5 onto Abdul when declaring attack onto Lunar Attendants. So paying for playing the Valentina. Can't remember her full name, but Valentina, which allows you to use her ability on enter, which allows you to remove a target resonator 2 cost from your opponent's field, and I'm pretty sure he's going to use that to target the attendant. but however I tend to say, you know what, I'm going to use my mana and protect myself for 1 turn. So it looks like he will be using the ability. Yes, he will be using the ability, giving a barrier and so on. And then Jono used the effect of Valentina, putting a card from the remove pile to the bottom of the deck to give a swiftness and attacking directly to the attendant. Because again, attendant is very annoying. If you get rid of that card, it'll be a lot more helpful for the mid to late game. And Jono is trying to get rid of the problematic card. Even if it's not a big threat, it's quite annoying. However, in comes the Heartfelt doing a trade-off using the attack, and so obviously both Resonator will be dead, but however, thanks to Valentina's ability, it gets removed from the game, so Jono doesn't have to worry about being recycled, but however, if Archie has released, then that card's coming back straight to his hand. Tapping for another stone, healing for another resonance. Both players have, I believe, 2 to 3 mana at the moment, with both players just pretty much sitting down doing nothing for a bit. Again, both players' decks are pretty much heavy control. Again, control decks are usually from the mid game to the late game when actions start going, and it's going to proceed to the mid game right now. However, let's see what can Jono do, because Jono can't really play much on the battlefield, just for the fact that if he plays anything, his opponent might have a response such as Time Space, Heartfelt, and so on, a lot of removals. And at the end phase, in comes the Ancient Knowledge, allowing Archie to check top 5 and add 2 cards from the top 5 cards to his hand, then rest back to the bottom. Pretty much drawing cards, key cards you need against your mirror match, which is quite important. Again, it is a mirror match, so you need all the removal, or you need all the cards you need before your opponent, especially if both decks are almost identical. And obviously he's trying to play around the Searing Winds, just for the fact that Searing Winds can somewhat slow the deck down if Jono does play it, but however, this is the semi-finals, and obviously both players should know each other's deck list by now, so I'm pretty sure he should know that Jono does not pack Searing Winds, so he can just randomly go all out, but he is being very cautious at the moment. So let's see what can Archie do now. He does have a lot of resource to play with, 4 mana counters and 6 magic stones. Paying 2 resource to put a card in the standby area, most likely will be a Lunar Lake, unless he played the Stealth Engine, but again, we already looked at his deck list before, and you check in the Force of Will Australia group, there is a deck list of Archie's list, and there was no Stealth Resonators in the main board. So most likely that will be a Lunar Lake. Paying 4 at the end phase, looks like it. Yeah, paying 4 at the end phase using Ancient Knowledge. Again, allows you to draw key cards you need, checking top 5, adding 2 of them to your hand, and the rest back to the bottom. Very, very important card, just for the fact that if both players playing hand destruction, such as Nameless Mist, you need cards to get cards back, because you're losing your key control cards like your Time Space, well, not Time Space, like your key component cards that to allow you to do well. You really need to find ways to dig for cards in your deck, and Ancient Knowledge is the perfect card. You can use your own Magic Stone to play, or you can use your mana to play as well, so you do have a lot of options. Drawing for turn now. So let's see what can Jono do now. Tapping 4 stones, getting resonance off the Ancient Magic Stone. So now it has 4 mana counter at the moment. Let's see what can he actually do. Looks like paying 2 resource. Using Release, Release allows him to grab back a card from the remove pile, his remove pile back to his hand, and draw a card. And thanks to the Home E-Bonds in the early game, removing the Attendant allows him to make the Release a bit more alive. So now he draws a card and add a card back, so really, really good advantage right at the moment. So meaning that he can play his own Attendant on the battlefield, and then the Attendant can be very annoying against Archie, like how he did against Jono in the early game, getting barrier, protection, 5/5 body, and it can slowly win you the game if that was necessary. So let's see. At the end of the turn, looks like Archie's playing something. Oh, he's playing Midnight. Oh, Midnight's one of those cards that doesn't target as an instant speed removal. What it does is that instant speed, your opponent chooses a resident and banish it. So it doesn't target, to mean the barrier on Nuna's Attendant will not able to do anything even you pay for it because it doesn't target. So forcing Jono to lose one of the key component cards to annoy his opponent, not really good at the moment. But however, Archie doesn't really have anything on the battlefield either, so meaning he can be a bit more safe at the moment, if that makes sense. Both players are pretty much just tapping stone, passing turn, paying stone, passing turn. Just for the fact that control deck doesn't pack a lot of resonators, I think majority of the time a control deck usually pack maybe 10 or less resonators. I believe Archie packs 8 resonators in total, and Jono packs at least 14, which is still quite low, even is a bit more than average. Again, so, and even he does play something, most likely will get responded by Archie. Typing for a Magic Stone and hitting those resonance abilities and triggering off. So let's see what both players can do at the moment. If they can't play any resonator, there will be an issue, so you need a way to actually do some damage or do something at least. If you try to J-activate, you might run into a Black Moonbeam, which Archie does play in the main board obviously, because it is the kind of mandatory card most people play in Alhama'at. Paying 2, looks like before recovery, using Ruin Soul, which allows him to search for any ancient magic card. He can search for the Heartfelt, which allows him to generate a lot more mana, so he can J-activate if he wants to put him up to, I believe, 8 mana, and then J-activate, gain an additional 1 more mana to put himself 9 mana, and he can use that J for swinging purposes, assuming he knows that Jono does not play Black Moonbeam. But however, again, this is the semi-finals, and in both players should know each other's deck list. And for those who don't know, Jono does not actually main Black Moonbeam, he mains Erasure, so that's a chant removal for J Ruler, so this would be a good indication for Archie to maybe go a bit more offensive if he necessarily needs to. In comes the Nameless Mist, which allows him to look his opponent's hands once more, discarding key control cards. Now Jono is thinking, well, let me respond to it first, or I have a response perhaps. So let's see what can Jono do. Jono is his hands being attacked majority of the time by Nameless Mist, so hopefully John can make a comeback out of this, because he's not looking too good at the moment. I'm gonna be honest, he's not looking too good. Checking, well, the glare is too much for me, so I can't see besides the Abdul. So again, I don't have any shadow effect card type of thing like equipments at all, so sorry about that, guys. Looks like Ruin Soul looks like it's being selected as a target perhaps. He looks like he's picking Ruin Soul at the moment, unless he's picking something else. She's thinking about the decision. Well, he can take this opportunity to write down what cards his opponent has, because taking note is still legal in this game at the moment, so he can take this opportunity to write it down, but he chooses not to, so he is going to discard that Ruin Soul, not allowing Jono to have any accessibility to any ancient magic cards. Cards such as Heartfelt, Ancient Knowledge, another Ruin Soul, you want to go to Ruin Soul, Black Moonbeam, or like there's a lot of ancient magic cards in this current format or in this current game at the moment, so it can be very helpful. And obviously for the fact that Alhama'at can be played for any ancient magic, it is very important as well. So let's see now. Life point wise 4,000 compared to 3,100. Field wise we have 1 card standby face down, and that's pretty much it. And both players has nothing on the battlefield besides magic stones and a standby. Well, one of them anyway. Jono hits the Valentina Stone. I can't remember the name off the top of my head correctly, but he doesn't wish to pay for it, so he's still on 4,000 life points by the looks of it, but it will trigger Resonance, which allow him to gain 6 mana, or gain up to 6 mana at the moment. Or be at 6 mana, I should say. We're already at the 14-minute and 30-second mark now, so it's going to be going to that mid to late game, or actually to the late game now, where both players should be doing some big action plays now. Again, as I mentioned before, in the control mirror it's going to be very boring in the early game, because just for that fact that there's nothing to do in the early game unless you go for like big plays in the early game, and hopefully not run into like any shenanigans. That's about it. In comes the Heartfelt, increasing the mana counter onto Alhama'at, so giving him 10 mana compared to his opponent's 6 or 4 mana at the moment. 5 to 6, I can't remember. don't keep count with manas, and it's too far away from the sea at the moment. Tapping for stone, gaining additional mana, and looks like getting another dice, so that will be 7 mana at the moment compared to 10 mana. So there is a 3 mana difference, but however, both players can J-activate at the moment to go for that glorious play. Now, Archie does have a bit more advantage when it comes to the mana counters, so he can play that strategy to J-Ruler to his 3rd form and hopefully win for a game from there, but that is going to be a huge risk versus huge reward. For those who don't know, on the Colossal Ruler, he has a 3rd form which allows you to... He gains barrier, he gains all the symbol skill or majority of the symbol skills, and all cards in his hand is ancient magic, and all the cards in his hand are quick casts as well, I believe. So which allows him to gain that benefit. Tapping for another magic stone and gaining additional mana. Tapping a lot of stone down, is he gonna play explosion? Actually no, I checked his deck, but he doesn't have explosion in the main board, so that would be a big flat lie. But he's going to be using that drain card. Again, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but what it does is that it will drain your opponent's life and you gain life at the same time. So he's going to be paying a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's a total of 24 life. So now both players, he sucks his opponent's life and he gains life. That sounds so wrong in so many ways, but ignore what I just said. So putting Jono down to 16 life compared to Archie's 55 life. Huge life difference, so now Jono is in an awkward situation that he can't do a lot of damage because it is control mirror, unless he drain back the life back of his own to put himself back down to higher life point compared to his opponent. But I believe he doesn't mainboard that drain card. Again, I can't remember the name, I'm terrible with names with cards, I know what it does and so on. He's time spacing his own resonator. Maybe he just wants to draw a card. He's time spacing it again? Whoa, this is very interesting. Maybe he thinks that the Abdul is not necessary, it doesn't help me any single way, I'd rather draw cards out of it, by looks of it. But however, I would have used it to go a bit more offensive a little bit, just doing some minor damage. At least that could help, but I guess drawing 2 cards is better than none, I guess. And the time space doesn't really help against his opponent because his opponent literally has nothing on the battlefield. So let's see what can Jono do now. Jono is tapping for a stone, 2 stones at the moment. 3 stones. And playing Grim. Oh wow, I haven't seen that card for quite some time. Grim has a seal of 5, so what it does is that it gives himself barrier, but when he's on the battlefield, I think all other resident he control the control of Grim gains barrier as well. So it's pretty much a protection of field. So it's pretty much like a higher version of a better version of Luna's Attendant, because Luna's Attendant you have to pay 1 mana, which is or pay 1 resource in general for blue resource, but however paying that blue resource is not that hard. Playing the Nameless Mist. Looks like he's looking at his opponent's hand and let's see what he will discard. I see Bear Magic, I see Midnight, TikTok Bomb, Luna's Attendant, Rachel, and the rest I can't see from there. Sorry about that, guys. So let's see what kind of option he can. He can discard the Endless Midnight, or Midnight Endless, or what is it called. Yeah, he does discard the Midnight. So, not Endless Midnight, Death at Midnight. Sorry about that, guys. Again, I'm not really cool with names. I should really study about the card's name, but you know what? I'm too lazy. So discarding that card, that will be very important, just for the fact that Death at Midnight is actually a non-targetable card, and meaning that he can get rid of his opponent's resonator with ease. It even has barrier. But however, I'm pretty sure Archie's gonna do some kind of big play if he's discarding the Midnight at the moment. So let's see what can he actually do. He does have a lot of mana counters on, so he can use this mana counter for maybe Explosion if he does play it, but Again, if he doesn't play Explosion, if he played Explosion, he should have done that earlier, and that will won him the game right off the bat. But I don't think he is playing Explosion. Let's see. Currently, the life point wise, 1,600 compared to 5,500 life point. Field wise, we have a Grim compared to a face down standby card. So let's see what can Archie do in his situation. However, he has to be aware that his opponent does have 2, 4, 6, 7 mana open and 6 mana counter on his ruler. So he technically has 14 open magic stones, which is quite a lot if you think about it. That's a lot of interaction play that Jono can do. But then again, if Archie plays the Luna's Attendant, a lot of those like target spell in the graveyard such as Time Space it won't be as effective, and cards such as any target ability, so we should make it irrelevant. However, we already saw Jono's hand, and to be honest, I couldn't remember what he had. I remember it was Man Magic, Rachel, and something else. So yeah, so let's see what can Archie do. I'm not too sure what he can actually do at the moment. His Finger Power is a big play, so maybe he's gonna be dropping a bigger Resident on the battlefield. Actually, no, he's J activating by the looks of it. He did take a look at his opponent's hand, so he did notice that he doesn't have a J rule removal. So this gives him the opportunity to do some 1,000 damage direct to the face, and that would be more than enough, to be honest. Awakening the TikTok Bomb. Ouch, that's gotta do a lot of damage on the battlefield. TikTok Bomb, for those who don't know, is an ancient magic card. If you awaken it, I believe it's a 6 to 5, I think it's 5 mana. Yeah, 5 mana. If you awaken it, you put a token on the battlefield and gains the following ability. The following ability will be, if you do it at the end of the turn of your turn, that is, you do 1,000 damage to your opponent's field and 1,000 to your opponent's face at the same time. And not only that, if you don't awaken it, so you pay 2 mana, it's pretty much at the start of your next turn. I believe at the recovery or the main phase. I don't recall when, but you will do the same effect as well. It's just pretty much a bit later than earlier when you awaken it. So when you awaken early, you do it at the end of the turn right away. But in comes the double Time Space, getting rid of Alhama'at. So pretty much you say, you know what, you don't get the J ruler form, so you do not able to attack me with it when you do go off with it, with the Time Bomb. Playing Luna's Attendant. So that card will actually protect the token, which is kind of sad, but it's kind of relevant. But looks like in response to it, chasing using the Heartfelt. And then in comes Rebound Magic. Wow. Rebounding that Heartfelt damage directed to Grim, and Grim doesn't protect itself because I believe how it works is that you're using your opponent's cards to redirect. So he's technically it's his card and not his opponent. So Rebound Magic will redirect that Heartfelt back to Grim, even it has barrier at the moment, which is very, very important. So that Rebound Magic is going to be so useful at the moment, protecting the token and obviously giving that 400 damage directly to Grim. But in comes the second Heartfelt, trying to do the extra damage on top of the or responding to Magic Rebound. So pretty much Magic Rebound's effect will be irrelevant unless Archie has a second Rebound Magic, which will be very important if he does have it. So let's see now. 1,600 compared to 5,500 life point. Field-wise, Grim compared to a token, oncoming Luna's Attendant, and a face-down standby card. It looks like it resolved, get rid of the token. That is one dead token, so that bomb will not explode. And then the Luna's Attendant resolve, and in comes the second Time Bomb. So now this time you say, you know what, I will have protection this time, so good luck, have fun. In comes the Midnight before the tokens enter, so you get rid of the Luna's Attendant, so you can't gain barrier, so which is pretty good, which gives him a lot more option to get rid of the Time Bomb or using Bear Magic to turn to a 4/4 vanilla. But in comes another Luna's Attendant which is so annoying at the moment because Luna's Attendant, even though it's not a big threat, it's pretty annoying if you give your Resonant Barrier at the same time. And looks like it resolves, burning 1000 to the field and 1000 to Jono's face. Ouch. Kinda hurts, but what can you do? So now putting Jono down to 600 life point compared to Archie's 5500. At the moment, field-wise, Luna's Attendant and the card face down compared to Jono's literally nothing on the battlefield. So let's see what can Jono do. Jono does have more card advantage than his opponent, but however, he's gonna die in a couple more turns if he can't get rid of any or can't stop the time bomb from resolving, because I believe Archie packs 4 time bombs and 2 of them's already been used. And don't forget that I forgot to mention that time bomb is an ancient magic and which is searchable from Rune Soul. So let's see what can Jono really do now. Hopefully he can put something on the battlefield, can stall for a bit more time, and hopefully he doesn't lose to a random burn spell. Let's see. Or get rid of the Resonate at least somehow, because of the fact that 500 damage will be kinda annoying because it can just attack you 2 times and you're pretty much dead. So let's see what can Jono do. And however, Archie is pretty much saying that I'm pretty comfortable in this situation. I'm already high in life point. I'm already in best advantage at the moment. Even though my hand advantage is a bit low compared to my opponents, I should be okay. So Jono is pretty much have to find some kind of way to put himself in a better position and putting game 1 onto his favor or turning the tides around. So at the moment, looks like all Magic Stones being gone. Yeah, all Magic Stones on the battlefield, so both players should have a total of 10 Magic Stone unless they play more than 10 Magic Stone. That's now 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So all both players 10 Magic Stone from the Magic Stone that is already on the battlefield, so no more residents. So whatever mana they have there on their rule is all they have. Seems like Archie only has 2 mana left, while Jono has a total of 6. Playing his own time bomb. Wow. So Archie will be like, you know what, I'm gonna midnight the field before the token comes out, and that is 1 dead attendant. And so it looks like the card will come on the battlefield and successful. Hopefully Archie does not have, or hopefully for Jono's sake, he doesn't have a response to it, but if it does, that would be an issue. Playing Rachel. Rachel just a 5/7 free drop body on the battlefield, which allows to be a blocker. So let's see. In comes the Lunar Lake. Oh wow, that kind of sucks. Because for those who don't know, Rachel does have an enter ability to search for a demon from the graveyard to put on the battlefield. Even though it doesn't have a target, it still triggers, and Lunar Lake just say surprise and kill that Resonate away. Eating a lot of resource for Jono because he only has like 1, 2, 3, and 6 mana, so total 9 resource to play with left. And isn't that TikTok bomb supposed to be exploited? Unless it got bad magic. Did you get bad magic? I don't think it got bad magic. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention because I was commentating and I wasn't paying attention at all. In comes the TikTok bomb. So unless Jono can stop this from resolving, this is going to be game. Let's see now. Jono is thinking about his play. He does have some bear magic in hand, so he can literally bear magic the attendant and then bear magic the token. But however, it's not gonna be that easy because the attendant has the ability to give the token and the attendant himself barrier by paying 1 blue resource. I'm pretty sure he should have a lot more blue resource. Even though 2 of them has been tapped down, he should have at least 3 more, I believe. Yeah, 3 more blue mana to play with. So let's see. So let's see what's happening at the moment. Jono is thinking about his play responding to the token oncoming. If the oncoming is successful, and if he can't get rid of the token, that is pretty much guaranteed game. Burn 1000 to field and the face, which is more than enough to take down the game 1 to Archie's favor. So let's see. We're already at the 30-minute mark now, so being quite long for game 1. Paying 1 resource to bear magic the token by looks of it. But it hasn't come on the battlefield yet, so bear magic resolve? Wait, what's going on? Oh, okay. I see what's going on now. They're switching the token around so to know which one's in effect. But did the bear magic resolve? I don't think it has yet, so in comes the bear magic right now. Attempt to target it, and then he's thinking about using barrier in response to it. I'm pretty sure you should use barrier. Like, why wouldn't you? Because it gives you the win right now. So I would if I was Archie. So I'm not sure what is Archie currently afraid of, because he did have a knowledge of his opponent's hand when he used Nameless Mist a couple turns ago, so he should know for the fact that he can't respond with much. And not only that, 2 of the time space has been removed already, so he doesn't have to worry about that. The only thing he has to worry about is the bear magic. So what can Archie do? So he's counting his graveyard and so on. So that will be on the field or on the chase. So did the barrier resolve? I'm not too sure. It looks like it's resolving. And Jono seems to be using a play in response to it. So yep, in comes the bear magic in response to it, and his thinking, is there any outs at the moment? And if it doesn't do anything at the end of the turn, that bomb will literally take his opponent's life. And looks like Jono is scooping it up, saying that I can't win, the bomb will resolve regardless what I do because of the barrier. So other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening guys. Please stay tuned for game 2. Okay guys, welcome back to game 2 with game 1 in the bag for Archie, putting the momentum to his favor, allowing him to pretty much say relax a little bit in game 2, even though he should force the 2-0 to put better into his favor, but again the momentum does help. However, I can't say the same for Jono. Jono needs to force the game 2 onto his favor and win game 2 to force the game 3 against Archie, to put himself in a better position than he should be. But however, it's quite surprising that Jono actually chose to go second. Now, for those who don't know, in Force of Will, if you go first, if you lose game 1, you do have the choice to go first or second. So Jono been losing game 1, he should have the ability to go first, but it seems that he doesn't want to give his opponent the extra energize for the mana. Tapping one of stone, hitting E-Bond Homes. Looks like he's paying the 300, which does put him down to 3,700, and it will remove the top card of his opponent's deck. Removing the Luna's Attendant, which is very, very important, because again, for those who don't know, Luna's Attendant in game 1, giving barrier for Archie to his field, being very pesky, very annoying, not allowing Jono to use his spells such as Time Space, Heartfelt to resolve peacefully and killing his opponent's Resonator. So it does help quite a bit. Now with that being removed, that's one less Lunar Attendant for Archie to worry about. And in comes the Nameless Mist to make matters worse, saying that let me see your hand, there's nothing to hide from now on, and if it resolves, I see your hand, I discard a good card. Good times. So let's see what is in Jono's hand. And Jono does pass it over, and he does have Ancient Knowledge, and the rest of the card is in the glare, so I can't see anything at all. I do see Luminous Judgment at the moment. I do see Death at Midnight, and that's pretty much it. All I can see at the moment. So let's see what can Archie pick, or what is Archie going to pick. Looks like Archie's selecting. He looks like selecting Luminous Judgment, because Luminous Judgment, or maybe not yet. He's thinking about those two cards. jumping to the conclusion already, huh? Looks like those two cards are the most bothersome one. Discarding the Luminous Judgment, so no mass removal, because it does help for the fact that Luminous Judgment doesn't target, so barriers such as on the Luminous Attendant will not do anything, so that would easily field wipe the field if he needs to. Passing it back to Jono's turn, and he's gonna pay the 300 life for the Black Blue Stone, which is the Valentina Stone. So let's see. And passing turn, again, as I mentioned in game 1, if you're playing control mirror match, usually there's nothing happening in the early game until the mid game. Perhaps there'll be some action, and at the very late game, that's where the both decks of Alhama'at shines the most, with a lot of control cards, and then playing a lot of Resonator. Well, not a lot of Resonator, it's just playing one Resonator, and that will be your one-man army to win you the game. And because you have a lot of removal spells, you have remnants from your graveyard such as Bear Magic and Time Space, able to KO any types of play. Looks like going towards the end step now. During the end step, looks like Archie wants to play something at the end step and thinking about it. He's still debating, but looks of it. Yep. Looks okay. Never mind. Looks like the judge saying that the end step or the final end step will be the discard, so Archie has to play something before it, I believe. So they were doing some shortcuts, and obviously the judge said that you can do shortcuts, but however follow the procedure of the end step of the sub steps and so on. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why the Bear Magic went back to Jono's hand, because the judge said you must follow the procedure and then discard the card. I think that's how it works, right guys? For those who are judges out there, is that the correct procedure? As in, discarding is the last procedure of everything, because again, even though I know my rules, I don't remember all the sub-steps in the end phase, like the falling orders and so on. So let me know, you guys, what do you guys think? Tapping with a stone, generating 5 mana? Wait, shouldn't he have 6? He started with 1 mana, taps for 5 stone. I didn't see he used any ancient magic cards, so he should have a total of 6 mana at the moment. Did he mistriggered in the last turn? I think he mistriggered last turn. So maybe that 1 mana difference will make a big difference. But in comes the attendant. The attendant will give himself barrier, say, you know what, your time space, your bear magic will do nothing to me. So good luck, have fun against me. But I say, you know what, in come the death at midnight, saying that bye bye to your Luna's attendant. So you say you gain no more barrier. And at the end of substat, discarding I think a time bomb by Archie. Tapping for another stone, generating a bit more mana. So paying 3 to play the Grim, and looks like they picked up on the mana count difference, so he gains additional 1 mana. I think he just mistriggered, that's about it. And playing the Grim, which have a seal of 5 at the moment, so meaning himself gains barrier, and not only that, the rest of his cards on the battlefield also gains barrier, so which is very helpful. Again, we already know that Luna's Attendant can be annoying with the barrier onto like any Resonator, but this one gives the whole field barrier. But Archie said that, nah, I don't want to deal with that at the moment, so say goodbye to your own Resonator, thanks to Midnight. So tapping for another stone, gaining an additional resource. Good old reliable Alhama'at. So let's see now. Currently the life point was 3,700 life points compared to 3,400 life points. The damage has been done mostly by the magic stones, because to keep it untapped you must pay 300 life points, and Archie pays a total of 600 to keep his Ebon Tome and the Black Blue Stone untapped, while same with Jono, but he only has the Black Blue Stone to pay to keep it untapped. Using Ancient Knowledge, checking top 5 at the end step, and adding 2 cards, and the rest goes back to the bottom and drawing for turn. So let's see now, what can both players do at the moment. I think both players just digging for key cards, hopefully some burn spells. Again, in game 1 we already saw that Archie has one way to deal life point damage, which is the I can't remember the card on top of my head, which is the black-white card, chant card, which allows you to look at your opponent, not look at your opponent, can do X amount of damage onto your opponent's life point, and you gain those life points as well. Looks like he nameless missed a midnight, so allowing his opponent to keep his own nameless miss, so he can nameless miss his opponent next turn if necessary. So let's see, paying 2, paying Luna's Attendant on the battlefield to give myself barrier and so on if necessary. And then dropping another Luna's Attendant, saying that, well, he's gonna do anything in my hand at the moment, might as well do some minor damage, which is doing some 500 point of damage. Paying 2, time spacing one of the Luna's Attendant. Attempting, so forcing his opponent to waste resource when he doesn't necessarily need to. Drawing for turn. I'm not drawing for turn, drawing from time space, sorry. Looks like before recovery, no, at the end step still. Time spacing from his hand as well, oh wow. Looks like he might have a bit too much cards in hand, say, you know what, I might as well discard some card and draw some card, make life a lot better, and so on. I think he's just doing the full value out of it, so forcing his opponent to use his mana counter, so having less resource to play with, which is kind of important. Again, a lot of ancient magic cards are really high cost, such as ancient knowledge is 4 mana, and other cards such as explosion can require a lot of mana if he does plays it. And also I believe Severing Winds as well if he wants to hard cast it from hand, but again, we know for the fact that Jono does not play Severing Winds, so nothing to worry about that, but it's just a good example, that's all I can really say. And one of the time space resolved, surprisingly, I believe at Archie's turn, so killing one of the attendants, surprisingly. So let's see, tapping for a stone, gaining additional mana. So now 7 mana compared to his opponent's, I believe, 3. So Archie does have the ability to J-activate next turn to put a threat on the battlefield. But in comes the Midnight, which getting rid of the Luna's Attendant. I think that's a total of 3 attendants gone already, because the fact that he killed 2 already and one's in the remove pile, so that's a total of 3. That's a lot of Luna's Attendant gone now, so pretty important. And in comes the Nameless Miss, able to look at his opponent's hands once more and discarding key cards. So let's see what can Jono do now. Jono can respond to it, but it looks like he's not. Revealing 2 Heartfelt, 1 Erasure, 1 Lunar Lake, and 1 Rachel. So let's see. He's thinking about it. If I was Archie, I would discard the Heartfelt, because Lunar Lake doesn't really help, and Erasure, maybe Erasure, but looks like he's discarding the Luna's Attendant. Perhaps that Archie's citing some enter ability cards. That's the only way I can think why he will discard the Lunar Lake, because again, Lunar Lake doesn't really cause much problem in the control matchup. And I'm kind of surprised that Jono didn't side out his Lunar Lake, because he knows for the fact that his opponent doesn't play any in the main board. Perhaps in the sideboard, that's where it's necessary. And in comes what's her name, Alice. Alice with the seal of 4, and if you can guard out with 0 mana, and I'm pretty sure he's using guard out at the moment and declaring a card at the moment, and he's declaring Lumious Judgment. Which is the board wipe by the looks of it, not allowing Jono to get any of those cards resolved. So pretty surprising he chose that over other cards, but I guess Lumious Judgment is one of those issues, I guess. Doesn't want his opponent to board wipe the field if necessary. Tapping for another stone, hitting Resonance once more. So let's see now. Life point wise, 3,700 compared to 3,400 life point. It has been like this for quite some time now, so don't expect too much has been changed. But however, Jono is completely wide open for a double attack from the Resonators, which can do at least 1,000 damage directly. So now this is where we see the actions from the control decks. Attacking directly for 500, which does put Jono down to 3,200. So let's see. Takes the damage directly. I'm pretty sure it could be offensive now because again, why wouldn't you be offensive? So yeah, he's gonna be very, very offensive at the moment. Yep, attacking with the Luminous Attendant, putting Jono down to 2,700 compared to Archie's 3,400. Now, if Archie packs in a explosion, I'm pretty sure that would be game, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yes, yeah, that would be guaranteed game if he does have explosion because he can kill his own stuff and then burn 28 damage directly to Jono. But in comes the time space, saying that I'm gonna kill your dude, but I'm pretty sure that barrier will come in. Yep, the barrier does come in, preventing any target ability onto that Luminous Attendant. Again, being very, very annoying and very, very annoying because again, as I said before, in game 1 and currently at the moment, control decks require using cards that targets a lot. Unless you have multiple copy of Death at Midnight, that's where it is pretty much guaranteed kill something on the battlefield. So let's see now. Double time spacing the Luminous Attendant, so trying to get rid of it. Looks like it wasn't successful and that remains on the battlefield with no problem at all. Let's see, what can Jono do? Jono has to do something to put the favor into his field or into his game, pretty much. Because at the moment, he only has like 3 or 4 cards in hand compared to Archie's, I believe, 3 or 4 cards in hand as well. But the difference is that Archie has a battlefield or Resonators. In comes the Valentina. Surprise, surprise. Looks like he will be using the Enter ability, but I'm pretty sure that Luminous Attendant will put barrier on whatever he tries to target. And it seems that he's using Valentina's ability to put time space back to the bottom to give a swiftness for the aggressive play. So let's see. He can attack into the Luminous Attendant or the Atlas, but however, it could be, or not could be, Archie does have another time space in the graveyard, which gives -5, -5 to Valentina, which KO herself out of the way if he decides to attack into a Resonator. In comes the Rune Soul at the end step, adding an ancient magic card to his hand and adding the Time Bomb. So it looks like Time Bomb is going to be doing a lot of massive AoE damage on the field and 1,000 to the opponent's face. This is going to hurt. And when I mean hurt, I mean definitely hurt. No mercy, a lot of salt, not a lot of salt, a lot of burnt flavors and so on. So shuffling, cutting the deck and so on. Drawing for turn. So let's see now. Archie's thinking about his play because he is in a better position than John. Because again, John only has Valentina and 4 Magic Stone open and I believe 5 mana open as well on his ruler. While his opponent completely has 7 mana and 2, 4, 6, 8 resources to play with. Using Nameless Mist to say, you know what, let me check your hand, see any problems. And if there's a problem, I won't do the play I do. If there's no problem, I will do the play. So this is a perfect timing to use Nameless Mist at the moment because putting your opponent down at this stage and looking at your opponent's hand at the same time and discarding one of the best chant cards they have, very important. Looks like in response to the Nameless Mist, he could be using Half Out to generate mana, so not allowing him to discard it. Yep. Oh, he's doing it again. So gaining 6 mana. And he does it again, so he could be generating 9 manas onto his ruler, but -3 at the same time, so he generates 6 mana and he has a Luminous Judgment, which got called by Alice, so pretty much Alice cannot he cannot use Luminous Judgment, so discarding the Erasure and putting a 1/1 count onto Alice, so which is gonna do 600 damage instead of 500 damage. This is going to hurt a lot. And J activating, gaining additional mana and saying having 10/10 flyer, and discounting the Erasure, saying that you know what, you have nothing left. Attacking in the air, and Jono forgot it has flying, so you're going to be taking 600 to the face, which does put Jono down to 2,100 life point compared to Archie's 3,400. So at the moment it's not looking too good. Attacking 500 directly, attempt to block with the Valentina, 9/9 versus 5/5, but however Archie does have the time space in the graveyard, -5/-5, and drawing a card and getting rid of the problematic card. And does draw, yep. And now Archie can still respond to the block still. If he has Heartfelt in hand, he can just randomly one-shot it, because Heartfelt plus time space has 900 damage, and Valentina only has 800 damage, 800 defense. And getting rid of it, so doing that 500 damage directly, putting Johnny down to 1,600. Playing Valentina, and that will be most likely the game, because it can't gain swiftness, and that will be enough damage for now. And even if it's not enough for now, next turn he will just guarantee game. So other than that, that's the game, guys. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.